But at any rate, guys, that's it for our home. Alrighty, Carver is a full-time Templar now. Alright, I'm going by myself for the time being, because I think we gotta have a lot of chat to talk. And I'll start with our good friend Fenris. Yeah, like, why not? It's been 3 years and see exactly how he, like, improved by living in this city. Get Fenris, one thing I do admire you is your ability to conserve the people's bodies to look exactly like they did 3 years ago without even a hint of being rotten. Yeah, I know, no pun intended, but seriously. Yeah, well, despite me liking you, you are doing quite a poor job of maintaining your place. But probably you don't really care for that, for all I can see.
So the Seneschal's tax collector won't be coming around again like you asked. Funny story.
I'll pass, but thank you for the help.
Spoil sport. Why you want to squat up here in Hightown is beyond me.
I like the view.
So do I.
Hey now.
3 years. There's still no sign of Denarius. I'm beginning to wonder if he's finally given up.
Well, you sure he did?
This is his mansion, isn't it? He must know you're here.
Would you be surprised to learn that it isn't, in fact, his mansion? It belongs to a Tevinter merchant, one who has evidently given up on the place. Perhaps he is dead. Perhaps Denarius killed him. Either way, if Denarius is aware of my presence, he has done nothing.
Well, go after him.
Then this is the perfect time to track him down.
I'm not so certain. Tell me, what do you do when you stop running?
What you do when you stop running? Well, you build a life, I suppose.
You take a breath and look around. And start anew.
I don't know how. My first memory is receiving these markings. The lyrium being branded into my flesh. The agony wiped away everything. Whatever life I had before I became a slave, it's lost. I shouldn't trouble you with this. My problems are not yours.
You really don't remember?
You don't know who you were.
Fenris was the name Denarius bestowed upon me, his little wolf. If I once had another name or a family, then they were taken from me. But again, this is not your concern.
Well, you're a good friend. I can tell you that for sure.
Your problems are my problems.
Unlucky you. But enough. You have much to keep you busy, I'm certain.
Ah, you still wanna talk? Yeah, we finally regaining good friendship with him again. And getting wasted in here in alone.
Last bottle of the Egregio. I've been saving it for a special occasion.
And what's that?
The anniversary of my escape. Astia Vala Femundis. Care to hear the story?
Uh, sure.
I'd like that.
Let's see. You've heard of Saharan? The Imperium and the Qunari have fought over the island for centuries now. I was there with Daenerys during a Qunari attack. I managed to get him to a ship, but there was no room for a slave. I was left behind. I barely got out of the city alive.
Well, so it wasn't your choice.
You escaped only by chance.
That time, yes. There are rebels in the Saharan jungles called Fog Warriors. They found me and took me in, nursed me back to health. I stayed with them for a time, until Daenerys finally came for me.
Well, I can see where it's going, though.
He was relieved to see you'd survived, right?
Relieved to see his investment hadn't ended up in Qunari hands, perhaps. I'd grown fond of the rebels. They bowed to no master and fought for their freedom. It was beyond my experience. When Daenerys came, they refused to let him take me. He ordered me to kill them. So I did. I killed them all.
Why?
Why would you do such a thing?
It felt inevitable. My master had returned and this fantasy life was over. But once it was done, I looked down at their bodies. I felt I couldn't. I ran and never looked back.
But why didn't you leave earlier then?
I have to wonder why you stayed with Daenerys as long as you did.
You have not been a slave. A slave does not dream of freedom or wonder at possibilities. You think only of your master's desires and what the next hour will bring. It did not occur to me that I could be anything else until I had a taste of it.
You think all the slaves feel that way?
But there are stories of slaves rebelling all the time. They did in Kirkwall.
The ritual that gave me my markings also stripped me of my memory. Whatever I was before may as well have never been. Perhaps if I knew, I might have felt differently.
You know, Daenerys shouldn't get away with that, seriously.
I don't see why you didn't kill him right there.
I wasn't running from him. Not at first. I've never spoken about what happened to anyone. I've never wanted to. Perhaps this is what it means to have a friend.
Or too much wine. I think the wine actually got your tongue loose here.
Might want to take it easy on that bottle.
It's the last one, I swear. To you, Hawk, a finer mage I have never met.
Yeah, quite a lot. Well, not a lot, but a bit more about the Fenris, like I thought, a lot more codex-wise. Alrighty, we talked to you quite good, and we had a little good time, but seriously, you need to clear the mansion a bit. Okay, I'd like to see how my Meryl is going. Like, she is like under my responsibility, so, and in some weird way I do care of her, even though I'm not taking her anywhere with me.
Have you heard from your brother? Is he happy? With the Templars, I mean.
Well, he's not into the happiness.
Carver hates being happy. It interferes with his brooding.
The poor boy. I know he was angry when he left, but this wasn't your fault. One day he'll understand you were trying to protect him.
Yeah, that would be touching.
I can see it now. The apostate and the Templar running from opposite ends of the gallows to embrace each other.
Oh, that would be darling. But how would you arrange to be on opposite sides of the gallows? Things will be all right. Somehow.
You know what?
By the dread wolf! Why is my house always such a mess when people are here? It's clean sometimes, I swear.
Not much from you, my dear Meryl. To the handman to both with Varric and Isabella. I'm positive they have a shitloads of stuff to share, like especially Varric. Like, I'm not sure about Isabella, like, depending on what she was doing all these years, but, you know, never hurts to ask around. Yeah, first of all, Varric, I just want to get a quick update on our progress here of the expedition and stuff.
Just tell me if you hear more rumblings from the coterie about protection. Blondie's got enough trouble. Let me ask you something, Hawk. You made it into Hightown. I'd expect anyone else to get complacent, but you must have plans.
I actually want to be a significant people in here, so I want a title.
I'd make a good noble, don't you think?
I wouldn't wish that on you, my friend.
Not a
Nobility
noble.
is just another word for a lot of rich people trying to kill you. To be honest, I thought there might be a chance you'd want to go back to Ferelden now that things have calmed down. It's good to hear you're sticking around.
I could never leave you.
What would I do without my trusty dwarf? I'd cry myself to sleep without you.
Oh, don't get all teary-eyed on me, Hawk. You know I can't stand to see a human cry. So, we've got a whole city-state full of trouble to get into. Shall we get started?
You can bet on it, my friend.
It took decades for the other Blights to run their courses. This one, less than 2 years, don't you see? It never happened. It was all a Ferelden.
Nope, it was Mira being super efficient with dealing with the Blight.
It's like you haven't moved in 3 years.
It's easier for people to find me this way. Do you remember the relic I told you about? The one I need to find? I've been following a lead. I'm so close I can taste it.
You sure?
Isn't that what you said last time?
Oh, you mean when I went digging for that stash?
Yes, that turned out to contain several badly written poems and an old boot.
It could have contained the relic. I just thought I'd let you know that I may soon be taking you up on that offer of help.
Do I really want to? I'm just thinking. Rats.
And here I was hoping you'd forgotten.
If I learn anything new, you'll be the first to hear about it.
Anything else, my dear Isa Boobies?
Why do you always win at cards?
Because I cheat, kitten. This trinket, it's elven, isn't it? From your clan. Don't bet anything you're not prepared to lose. Here, have it back. A jigger of your finest whiskey for my friend over here. The hanged man's finest isn't much, but it'll get you just as drunk as anything you'll find in Hightown.
That's not all.
And you'll wake up and find someone stolen your trousers.
That's when you know it's a party. I thought I'd have to watch myself around you, but as it turns out, you're all right.
Just alright.
That's mildly insulting, you know.
You know what I mean. You don't judge people. You're not afraid to get your hands dirty. You know, little things like that. If I had someone like you on board my ship when the storm hit, maybe we wouldn't have been shipwrecked.
Probably I wouldn't dwell on that.
Maybe you would have been shipwrecked sooner. I'm a terrible sailor.
Are you? I suppose I'll have to keel haul you till you shape up.
Isabella, I think we are going into the good terms. Even though I think that was just like, you know, a little flirt, but not that much of the romance, if you know what I mean. Okay, Anders, Sebastian. Let's get this over with and see what this Anders wants to say to us. Like, not that I really care about it, but still.